What's good, y'all? It's your boy BioSpider 3.0, keeping the action going with the Deluxe Mandarin Spawn from McFarlane Toys. What's happening, y'all? So this is one of the last figures I got at Geeky Mama's. One of the last figures I was able to pick up before they closed down. And man, I miss that store so much. But thankfully, I've got some other collectible shops not too far from me. Not too bad of a drive, so I can always get down there to get some new figures. But man, this Spawn, man. I saw a Spawn. I think there was a release previous to this one. This is like the deluxe Mandarin Spawn, but I believe there was like an original, just regular Mandarin Spawn release. And I believe that was the one that I saw the last time I went to Frankenson's collectibles with a couple of my homies. I saw this guy. Well, it wasn't this guy. I'm pretty sure it was the original version in a glass case in there, and it caught my eye. And that release had a lot more like red paint on it. You can see there's a lot of like gold in the color scheme for this figure. The one I saw in the glass case had like a lot of red. Like I would say the majority of the paint job was red, and then there was also a lot of gold, but there was more red than gold. And but yeah, it had like the same type of look as this, and I was like, man, I don't know. It wasn't labeled either, so I didn't know like what the figure was at the time. And then my buddy Joe, he took a picture of it and sent it to Google, and Google looked it up, and they told us what it was, and it said the Mandarin Spawn, and I was like, man, that is a cool ass figure. Like I really want that. So I didn't get him that day, obviously, but long story short, when we went to Geeky Mama's the last time, me and my homie Izzy, I looked up on the shelf and I saw that they had this guy, the Deluxe Spawn, and I was like, yo, like that's the freaking figure I wanted. And I noticed like he looked a little bit different, and then I started looking up reviews and stuff, and I realized, okay, this is like the deluxe version of the figure that I saw at Frankenstein. So there's multiple releases of this guy. Obviously, this is the deluxe release. So here we've got him in the packaging. Spawn Deluxe Mandarin Spawn. There it goes. McFarlane Designer Edition. You can see at the top there in the corner, bonus mini poster. So I guess there's a little poster inside of there. I don't really see it from inside of the package, but I guess we'll find out once we open them up. Inside the box, we've got some really cool artwork right there. I really like how that looks. McFarlane Toys, if I could talk. And then back of the box, we have this really cool shot of the Deluxe Mandarin Spawn holding his double-bladed sword, which looks awesome, by the way. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, this thing looks incredible. It says 22 moving parts, so basically 22 points of articulation. Again, you can always follow McFarlane Toys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As you can see right there in that bottom corner. Same artwork on the other side, and not much more. Barcode legalese at the bottom. This is a very big box, as you can see, so I had to back it up so you could get the whole thing in the camera there. And this is the top of the box, not really much going on, so let's go ahead and crack this guy open. I'm very, very excited. I had like about an hour and a half before I got to get out of here, so I said, you know what, let me go ahead and crank out a review real quick. And I've been dying to unbox and review this guy because he looks amazing. Ah, there's the poster. I see it now, hidden behind the little cardboard background that we had in there. But it looks very, very nice. So let me go ahead and put that down right there. Alright, yeah, we got a little bit of those twisty ties again, so go ahead and cut those real quick. Let's snip that one there. And that right there. Alright. That was actually very easy. Thought there was going to be more ties than that. But alrighty, here he is. Out of the packaging. He looks amazing, man. Let me see if I can get him to stand up here. Oh wow, yeah, he actually stood relatively easy. I thought he was gonna have some trouble standing, to be honest, but he stood up right away, so that is dope. And let me get out His accessories. Ah, there he goes. I jinxed it. There he goes, falling over. All right, let me see if I can get him standing up again. I jinxed it, didn't I? Mr. Spawn, Mandarin Spawn. Okay, there we go. Okay, he feels like he's got a good balance right there. Let's hope he stays up this time. Let's get out these other accessories. He comes with quite a few accessories, which is, made me really happy, obviously. This being the deluxe version, I believe he does come with more than the standard release. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Got a little bit extra tape there. There we go. Take that out. That tape off of there. There we go. Alrighty. Go ahead and cut this here. Get these out. Alright. All the accessories are out, at least for the most part. Everything except the stand is out, but anyways, so here we have a look at the deluxe Mandarin Spawn, and I gotta say, off tops, man, he looks amazing. One of the things that obviously drew me to this figure was the paint job. I mean, the amount of paint on this figure is insane, man. It's a deluxe release, so obviously they're gonna go all out when it comes to the paint. You wouldn't expect like any mishaps or lack of paint anywhere. In this figure, man, it definitely gets the job done as far as paint goes. I mean, look at that, all around beautiful looking figure, man. He's just stacked with paint and detail. He looks amazing. So real quick, I'm gonna run through his accessories, put him to the side here for just a minute. See if I can get him standing again. Okay, there we go. So he comes with a very good amount of accessories. He's got this giant, I don't know what you would call this, not even really a staff, but like a spear or something. I'm sure there's like a specific name for this, I just don't know it. If anybody does, feel free to drop it in the comments below. But yeah, this thing looks amazing. It's got the silver paint for the blade, and this blade is gnarly, man. I mean, all the different angles that it kind of comes off of, like the main blade. You've got all these points sticking off in different directions, and then you've got this nice, pointy spear tip at the end. This kind of reminds me of like one of those fireplace poker things, that people have in their house. They can be used as a deadly weapon. Yeah, this definitely looks, reminds me of that, just a little more extreme. You got this amazing detail. I mean, you got like that spawn symbol right there in the middle right there. Oh, that looks sick, bro. It's like a spawn. You can kind of see like Spawn's face like etched into there. That looks amazing. And then you've got all that etched detail going down the blade right there. That looks incredible. Nice gold paint down here for the handle, and there's actually like a lot of like texturing right here where you see all that like sculpted detail. Nice like grip, a lot of texture and detail going down the the handle of this whatever you want to call this weapon here. But yeah, this thing looks incredible, man. So you got that weapon. Similar thing going on with this. A lot of etched detail, again, silver and gold paint. It's got this really, really cool dragon symbol going in the blade of this one right here. That looks amazing. And again, very similar type of detail going into the gold of the handle and all that. That looks amazing. Big ass weapon right there. And then we've got another kind of standard sword. Not really any detail on this one as far as the blade goes, but still, same consistent silver paint. And then the gold obviously going into the handle there. That looks amazing as well. So we have that. And then we have his double-bladed sword, maybe my favorite weapon out of the set. We've got this double-bladed sword that we saw in the back of the box, and this thing is incredible. It's got a nice substantial weight to it, feels kind of heavy. and it's, it looks amazing. It's got the spawn symbols on each end of the blades, so that's really really cool. This dual blade that he's got to wield, and it's quite big. It's like really big. Like standing up, I would say it's actually taller than my ZD Toys Thanos that I'll show off at the end for size comparisons. But yeah, this is a tall ass blade. So we've got that. And then we have, last but not least, as far as his arsenal goes, we have, let's see here. Was that supposed to plug into there? Hold on one sec. Oh, I see. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, we have a shield for him, which also looks amazing. A lot of gold on there. We've got like, this kind of like I guess Chinese or Mandarin face on there. I forget, like, I don't know. It's kind of like, looks like, I guess, like a dragon, or like a Chinese like dragon or something. I don't know. And forgive me, like I am not trying to be racist at all. I'm just saying like this reminds me of like what do they call that in China? Like that parade that they have where like they go down the streets in those big like dragon costumes or whatever. This definitely reminds me of that. So forgive me. I am not trying to be offensive at all. Like excuse me if I seem racist when I made that comparison. I'm just trying to say like that's what this reminds me of, and it looks beautiful. Like the detail is all there. It looks absolutely amazing. You've got the red and the black, and mixed in with all that gold. It's a nice big shield for him, and you can see it's got straps on the back, so nice red paint for the straps, and the brown backboard there, to look like wood planks. And this actually kind of comes off, so I'm thinking it's like you can see it actually like kind of pegs into there from the back. So I guess that's so you can slip his arm in easier, and then you can kind of plug these back in so that they'll stay secure around his arm. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice touch. And yeah, that's pretty much it as far as his weapons go. And then of course we get the McFarlane display stand, as always. See if I can get that out, because this one actually does look different than the typical DC stand. This actually has a nice specificness to spawn, so that's cool. If I can get it out. It's always kind of hard to get these out. Dang, I don't want to mess up this nice cardboard background too, but I might have to. Ah, man. Yeah, it's gonna take forever to get out, but okay, wait, here we go. I thought I was just gonna have to. Okay, there we go. Finally got it. Alright, so here we have the Spawn display base or display stand, which looks really cool. It's actually got like a nice, Spawn characters on there, like Spawn, the Spawn writing. And then of course you have your little peg stand. But yeah, nothing too crazy, but nice to have a, change of pace for our display stands instead of the typical DC. So that is really cool. So he has that as well. And then the last thing I will show off that is not him is his poster. And I gotta say, this poster is gnarly, dude. Look at this. Check this out. Look at the just look at that drawing, man. That is crazy. Like that looks so wild, man. You got like that blood spatter in the back, and then the Mandarin characters are writing, and then you just see that Spawn right there, and he just wielding that double sword, and he looks absolutely beastly, man. That is crazy. And then I guess maybe these are the artists that did. I see McFarlane right there, and then Capullo, or I'm not really sure, but somebody else's name. I guess the artist that worked on this drawing is also at the bottom, right hand corner. So that's really cool. But yeah, man, this looks absolutely exceptional. Like that's crazy. This would be a really dope background if you decide to display this guy somewhere. So that's dope. So yeah, man. So getting back into the figure, we have Mr. Deluxe Spawn himself. So let's get straight into play and display, and then we'll take a closer look at the paint and detail on this guy because it is fantastic. So for the head articulation, he's able to look up Ooh, not too much, and that's really because this back little horn piece back here, I don't know if you guys can see that, there is like a little red piece in the center of these two gold horn things that stick off his back. There's like a hard plastic red piece that kind of is like in the back of his neck. And so when you try to move his head up, it kind of runs into that very quickly. So you don't get a lot of looking up. So that is a little unfortunate. Let's see, looking down, a little bit better. He can kind of, tuck his chin in, So I think that's actually decent for going down. Side to side movement, we can kind of push past, his little chin thing kind of runs into this shoulder guard as you turn, but you can kind of push past that, get him turning side to side. So that overall looks pretty good. I like that. I'm guessing you could probably, you could rotate the head like 360 all the way around. So that's pretty cool. I think it's on like a ball peg. It seems to have some really good swivel movement and rotation. So yeah, you can kind of get like some leaning in there, get some expression posing side to side. So that's really good. All right, for these arms, he's got these big, shoulder pad or shoulder guard things going on, but they kind of run into his face as you lift up his arm. But I think if you kind of turn it and kind of move that out the way a bit, you can get his arm going up decently far. Yeah, like about that far. At least about to like a 90 degrees. So I guess that's not too bad. Not too bad, not too bad. Back down by the sides, we do get rotation. So he's able to swivel his arms 360 all the way around. No bicep swivel, but we do get a swivel at the forearm. So that is nice. We get a little forearm swivel there and a hinge. So let's see, you can kind of like, really move his forearm in pretty much any direction. He can crunch, so you're able to get, I think it's a single jointed elbow, but you are able to get about 90 degrees bend out of it. So you get about that much. So that's not bad. At least it's, at least we get a 90 in there. As far as the hands, we've got a hinge, very similar to the last figures that I reviewed, kind of similar to like a figure arts wrist, but let's see, it's gonna allow you to curl in, curl out. As far as the hand goes, you can swivel it 360 all the way around, up and down. Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, it's got some vertical movement too. So yeah, it's very similar to a like figure arts wrist. So you can actually move the hand up and down there, which is really good for a sword or long weapon wielding character, even a gun wielding character. It's always good to have like a vertical hinge in there, so that's really, really cool. And then for our torso articulation, we are able to bend forward using the ab crunch joint about that far, which is definitely decent. I like that. Leaning back, we can get about that far using that kind of like ab waist joint. Might be a double ball peg. Let's see. Yeah, because I think we have a separate diaphragm joint at the top there in the actual chest, so we can rotate side to side using that joint, as well as get a little play, a little wiggle room up there. So that's really cool. And then we have a separate joint kind of down here just below the this dragon face, where his chest kind of ends, and going into like the stomach right here, we get a separate looks like a separate joint that also has another point of rotation to each side. So that's definitely gonna help with some maneuvering and posing. So that's dope. And then a lot of the plastic on him, by the way, is like a soft plastic, even though it probably like looks like it's hard plastic from the look, but it's actually like pretty soft, pliable plastic. So you are able to kind of like move these things out of the way without too much trouble. Going out to the side, he can kick his leg pretty far, man. He's able to get just about a split. I mean, maybe just, leg popped out. Similar to, what was it, Black Adam? If you guys seen my Black Adam review, you know that happened, but easy fix. Very easily able to pop back in, so no biggie there. But yeah, just don't, swing his leg out too wide. But once you start to feel like resistance, you probably don't want to push it too much further than that. But yeah, he's able to get like at least about that much, I would say, going out to the side before it starts to pop out on you. All right, and then kicking forward, he can get, let's see here, he can get pretty good, about a little shy of 90, and his foot does kind of have like that weird like dog hind leg type of shape going, so it is going to kind of come off at a curve, but you're able to get his leg up decently high for a high kick. And then going backwards, we're able to get pretty good. He's got like a soft plastic in the back, so it can kind of flex. You can get his foot kicking back about that far, so I'd say that's pretty decent. And get his little skirt or whatever you call this thing back down. Let's see here. As far as the knees, we've got looks like double jointed knees, but this is like kind of like a hard plastic back here, so it is, this kind of like horn piece, and the harder plastic down here is going to like, run into the plastic up here. So he's only able to get, oh, I take that back. Okay, just had to push it a little more. So there we go. Yeah, he does have a double jointed knee, and he's able to, kick his leg back about that far. So basically up to his butt or lower back. All right, and then back down. Let's see, as far as the feet go, he's got these really big, claws for feet. They rotate, so you definitely get like some rotate or some swivel in there. As far as hinging up and down, it doesn't feel like they're able to do much. Kind of just feels like big ball pegs. I'm not sure if there's a hinge in there. I'm not really seeing one, so they probably don't move up and down, to be honest, but they do at least rotate. So that's good. I guess that definitely helps with at least a little bit of maneuverability for this guy. But yeah, I think I've covered all the articulation points. We did the head, we did the arms, we did legs, we did out to the side, all of that. Yeah, I think he's got a pretty good batch of articulation, I would say. To be honest, I would say that like at first glance, when you're just looking at him, like for the first time, you probably think that he wouldn't be able to move very well, just because like the look of how he's like, painted, and how the plastic looks from like, an exterior perspective, it seems like he's made out of like, very hard plastic, so he wouldn't be able to bend around very much. But a lot of the plastic on him is actually like surprisingly soft. Like it's very, it's like a pliable type of plastic, so you're actually able to get him into quite a few positions that you probably didn't think you could. So that's dope, man. I like it. And, it feels, it still feels like a deluxe figure. Like the plastic doesn't feel like cheap on it. He definitely has like harder plastic in certain areas, like the legs and whatnot. But as far as like most of the armor and stuff, a lot of that is actually like a softer plastic. So you're able to get him into a lot of really, really dope positions. But yeah, man, he's he's dope. He's one of those figures that I definitely like had to have. I didn't even know, this character or this version of Spawn existed until I saw him at Frankenson's that day. Whatever that original release was of this guy that had like a lot more red on him. I was like, man, I don't know what character that is, but that, it looks pretty damn badass. And, thankfully my buddy Joe was able to look it up, and, he found out what it was. So I was like, yeah, I got to get that. And then, I saw this deluxe version at Geeky Mama's, and then, started looking up reviews and stuff, and saw that there were several different versions and releases of the Mandarin Spawn. So I was like, damn, well, I just got me one, so I'm happy, It looks dope. It's going to look great in the display. Again, I don't know a whole lot about Spawn. My friend Izzy, he knows a lot more about Spawn. And he was there with me that day when I picked this guy up. So, yeah, he knows a lot more about Spawn than I do. I know about Spawn a little bit from like Spider-Man and like some of the comics and whatnot. But yeah, I had to have this guy, man. He looked too cool for me to not have him in my collection. So I said, you know what, let me go ahead and get him. And I don't regret my choice at all. I love him, man. He's a great, great figure. Posability seems to be really good. I'm catching before he falls. I saw him falling there. Spidey senses was tingling. But yeah, posability is actually really good. Paint job is obviously immaculate, as you can see. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the paint and details. So just so you can see how much paint went into this figure, man, it is incredible. Look at all that gold, red, green, black, white, all different types of colors and paint schemes that went into this guy. He's look like his what do you call it? These like shin guards or whatever you want to call this forearm armor that he's got is crazy. Like especially on this side, you see all these like little faces and stuff. They look like little demons. And I'm not a guy that's into demons or anything demonic like that, but I like the way the armor looks. It's scary, it's menacing, and same similar type of thing going on up here for the shoulders, for those shoulder guards that he's got going. I mean, look at that, look at those faces, look at the sculpt detail and the paint. Like that is insane, dude. That is wild. And then on his other side, his left arm, he's got a lot less going on, but at least he's still got he's still got some things going. He's got like a face right here that comes off of his armor, and it's you can kind of like make out that little face right there. That looks pretty cool. And then he's got this going on his left shoulder pad. Look at that face and all that detail. Like that's crazy. Obviously the chest right there, that mouth. Like, oh, that looks scary. Like if you lean him back, it looks like the mouth is opening up, right? Like a big face about to eat you, like a big ass dragon or something. Like look at that, man. That's crazy. All that detail, and then obviously look at the face. Look at this face sculpt, man. That is one heck of a face sculpt. Got a face that only a mom could love. You know what I'm saying? But like, damn, it still looks like badass. All that detail in there. On the side, I like this this kind of like tassel thing that comes off the top. It's made of a soft, very soft, pliable plastic, but that that red paint for there and everything, like in the face. Yeah, this dude is insane looking, man. All the detail in the boots and the guards and everything going around the feet, and then even through the back. They didn't even skimp out on the back. You can see all that. Like the gold line work going down here by the bottom of his legs, all of this sculpted stuff right here, and you got all this painted and everything. The details are immaculate on this guy. Easy to see why he's a deluxe figure, right? So there you go. So let me go ahead and put his dual blade in one of his hands, because that's the weapon that I definitely want to see him pose with the most. So let me go ahead and try to pry his fingers a little bit here, so I can slip this blade in, and there we go. Alrighty, so for our play and display, let's actually get a little display going for the play and display section. Why don't we? Alright, we've looked at paint detail. Let's get a little display action with this deluxe Mandarin spawn. So boom, we've got him with his big old dual blade, his dual sword there, and he looks dope, man. I mean, look how big this blade is. So if he stands it up, you can see it's actually taller than he is, and that is a big ass blade. Like I literally have to back him up just to get the whole blade in the camera. Like that's crazy. Look at that. Oh man, that's incredible. And you can really get this guy into some dynamic poses too. Let's see what we can cook up here real quick. See if I can get him into like a kind of stance pose, like he's ready to, lunge at somebody. He's ready to throw down with his dual blade. I don't think he's gonna be able to stand, but only because his feet. The only thing I wish. Oh wait. Oh, hoo-hoo, I just found that out. So apparently his foot, his feet do have a hinge in them. I just kind of this one. I think I might have made this one loose just now, so that might be a bad thing. But I just it's kind of like it almost feels like a ratchet joint the way it clicks, but it is able to hinge up and down. So I guess if I force this other one hard enough, yep, that one comes down too. So the more you know, man. I thought there was no hinge in here, but apparently there is. So the feet do hinge up and down, so that's my mistake. Forgive me for that in the articulation section, but he does indeed have a hinge in his feet. So there we go. That's definitely going to help with articulation. And this being a relatively soft plastic, it's able to kind of bend. It is somewhat pliable, so it's going to get out of the way. So now that I know that, let's see if I can maybe get him balancing a little better here in a more dynamic stance. Let's see. Can I get you posed up? There we go. Okay, now we got a little something there, not the best pose, but just something real quick. Kind of get his, a stance going, get his legs farther apart. Got his dual sword aiming at you. Like he's ready to throw down, man. He's ready to pounce. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna spend too much time. We're already going 30 minutes in. So let's go ahead and get into some quick size comparisons and we'll head out. But I love this figure. I cannot wait to display this guy on my figure desk. He's going to look incredible. Oh man, yeah, he's gonna look very imposing next to my other characters. So let's go ahead and back him up. Get some size comparisons going here. Okay. All right. Let's scoot up camera up just a bit. Make sure we've got plenty of light on him. Plenty of light. There we go. All right. First up, we'll get him with a nice big character. We've got the ZD Toys in-game Thanos. And you can see that they're almost the same height. Actually, the Mandarin spawn, obviously counting, this little thing sticking off the top of his head, he's going to be taller. But if we count to just like the top of his helmet thing, he's pretty much the exact same height as Thanos, maybe even a little bit taller. So that's interesting, man. I think, yeah, Thanos was like my biggest, the biggest character in my collection up until this point. So I think the Mandarin spawn might actually have him just slightly beat as far as height goes. Two dual, sword wielding characters right there next to each other. So that looks really badass. I like that a lot. Imagine these two, facing off, same height and everything, going at it with two, dual bladed swords. That would be awesome. All right. Let's get the Udon Taskmaster from Hasbro Marvel Legends next to him. All right, you can see obviously a lot smaller in scale. And then on this other side for a G.I. Joe comparison, we've got the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes Origins Snake Eyes. All right, let me back it up just a bit to get them both in the frame there. You can see obviously a lot smaller in scale, each of them. Moving them out the way for some more McFarlane comparisons, we've got the DC Rebirth Deathstroke. And on this other side, we will get the newly reviewed Ocean Master from Page Puncher's McFarlane Toys. Get him a little more facing the camera there. All right. Wow, it's hard to get all these big figures in the shot, So dang big, but there you go. You can see, yeah, the McFarlane spawn is definitely a little bit taller than each of them. So yeah, he's got some significant size to him. He's bigger than your average McFarlane Toys figure. And let's see, who else shall we get? So let's get Fortnite's Dyer. The Dyer figure, also by McFarlane Toys. And on his other side, we will get the Mafex Mark 45 Iron Man. All right, for a Mafex comparison there. So there you go. Hopefully light's good on all three of them. Hopefully you can see that well. And you can see, yep, he's got a bit of height on each of them, more so over Iron Man than Dyer there. Who else? Real quick, we'll get him with the Mark 1 Spider Armor Spider-Man. For a Black Series, we've got the Phase 1 Clone Trooper on his other side. So there you have that. And last but not least, for some Lightning collection, we'll get him with the Lunar Wolf Ranger right here. And the Marvel Legends will get a Pizza Spider-Man on his other side. And there you have it. So So there you go for your size comparisons. Obviously a lot bigger than each of them as well. So there it is, guys. That's my review on the Deluxe. Move all these figures out the way. Gotta make some room for this guy right here. He's massive. But yeah, that is my review on the Deluxe Mandarin Spawn from McFarlane Toys. Very, very dope release, man. I absolutely love it. To be honest, I think I'm giving it 10 out of 10. I really don't see anything wrong with it. The articulation was great. It hit all the points that I would have wanted. To be honest, it had more than I thought it would. And, you know, finding out about that, you know, ankle or, you know, foot hinge articulation was a great, you know, surprise, a great plus. So, yeah, this guy looks great, man. Highly, highly recommend. 10 out of 10 if you can find him somewhere for a good price. I would say definitely go for him, especially if you're a you know, Spawn or McFarlane Toys fan, you know, Todd McFarlane fan. You gotta get this guy. I mean, he's an absolute must for your collection. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you're new, please be sure to subscribe. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I think we just did gain another one, or maybe another 2 very recently. So shout outs to you. Thank you very much. Please continue to watch, and a lot more coming to the channel. A lot more figure reviews and, you know, all types of stuff. So be sure to stay tuned in for that. Real quick, here he is with the Black Adam, by the way. Dwayne Johnson, Black Adam. Just wanted to show that real quick. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next review. Peace.